Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Zhong, owner of the Zhong Cage Fighting Series. Right next to me, we have Jihad Muhammad, officially doing an interview for his upcoming fight, August 20 at the heart of San Francisco, Kezar Pavilion. Now, Jihad, let's introduce you to all the MMA fight fans out there. Who you are, where you're coming from, and what got you into fighting, and the whole nine yard.
My name is Jihad Muhammad, 23 years old. I'm fighting out of San Francisco, California, but I'm born and raised in Oakland, California, over in East Oakland. Grew up over by the Oakland Coliseum BART, and alhamdulillah, just been grinding, just been training with Sifu since I was 19 years old, and now I'm making that leap into my next professional fight. So inshallah, I'm just looking forward to fighting a gamed opponent, very well respected in the field. So I'm just looking forward to really testing myself against him, because I know that he's very tough, very mentally strong, and you know what, like fighting people like that is what you need earlier in your pro career in order to really figure out like if this is for you. So he's definitely a strong opponent, and I'm looking forward to fighting.
Well, he's been fighting on a big spotlight, fighting on our show a couple times.
Bellator too.
Fought in Bellator before, and he's definitely been around the game longer than you have.
Yeah.
So now, what are you trying to achieve as far as like in the fight game? You want to make it as a career? Or?
Absolutely. I've gotten to a point now to where, like now I'm working, but for almost a year and a half, I was just doing nothing but training. So I was blessed enough to be able to just only focus on training full time, and I just did little part-time jobs here and there, like graphic design work and stuff like that. But other than that, I was pretty much just training full time to really figure out if this was for me. And then I got to a certain point to where once I had my mother, she had passed, and then I got to a certain point in my life to where I just went like, if I could do something every single day for free, but my bare minimum necessities were taken care of, what would it be? And then I just determined like I would fight, and that's it. And then if I couldn't fight, I would train, and then if I couldn't train, I would just teach martial arts.
Well, being an athlete, being a fighter is definitely a very unique occupation. It's a lot of sacrifice on a personal life.
Yeah.
To chase the dream, you know, and it's an interesting occupation, you know, and it's a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
It's a tough sport to be in. It's not like, you know, as glorious people think, you know, because, you know, a lot of eating ramen noodles, and you just train every day, and, you know, a few bucks in your pockets, and you struggle, you know. Some of the fighters sleep in the car and sleep underneath a cage, and
Yeah.
you know, and at one part of time you were one of those, and
Yeah, I lived at the gym for almost an entire year.
so that they get to where you want to be, and it's a tough career and tough choices, you know. So now, if people want to come support you, watching you fight, how can people contact you for tickets?
Best way to contact me is to go on my Instagram. It's Muslim_Tiger_MMA. My Facebook is Juma Muhammad. It's JUMAHMUHAMMAD. It's my father's name, but I ended up adopting it as a young man. So, I mean, that's just something that I just take pride in. My father's name is Juma. My grandfather's name is Juma. So, I guess I'm the third out of all of us.
Who is your most favorite fighter in UFC?
If I'm being honest, I don't have one. I have fighters that I draw inspiration from, but I do not have a favorite fighter, because I've come to the understanding that as a professional, I don't look up to anybody else. I have to become my own best fighter. I have to become my own ideal fighter, whatever my style develops and becomes. Like, I know a lot of people, not even a lot of people say that. A lot of people will say something cheesy like Adesanya or somebody else, but realistically, you're never going to achieve what they've achieved because you haven't done what they've done. Like, I'm not looking up to anybody else. I want to become the best me that I can be, because in order to determine my own future, the last thing I need to do is look at somebody else who's achieved stuff that I'll probably never do. But in the same breath, like, I want to choose my journey, and I want to develop in my own way.
So now, if people say, well, you know, Jihad, what type of fighter he is, and if you have to kind of put yourself in a category, like, you know, I'm a striker, you know, it's just like a Conor McGregor, I'm a striker, you know, and Khabib's, I'm a grappler, you know, I'm a wrestler, you know, I'm a ground and pound. Like, what do you put yourself? I know it's still kind of early to say because you're just entering a pro career, still haven't have a chance to develop exactly how you fight. But what do you have to put yourself in a category? Like, what am I considered a striker? What do you categorize yourself?
I would say I don't specialize in just one thing because like you've trained me since I was 19 years old. Like I came into your gym with nothing, so it's I've developed everything. I'll do whatever it takes to win, and I feel like that's the most important thing, especially as a professional athlete. Like sure you can create entertaining fights, but at the end of the day, do you want to be one of those entertaining guys who lose, or do you want to be the kind of guy who just wins fights?
Well, I mean, definitely like the way I'm watching you fight and train is definitely a little bit more considered as a striker, as now, you know, and I mean, all the guys who you fight and as an amateur, people say they want to strike, but they end up always trying to take you down.
Yeah.
So, you know, this upcoming fight, David Rivera, you know, it's a game opponent.
Yeah.
He can't throw.
No, he has heavy hands. I saw.
He has heavy hands.
He
and
clipped Jordan Mappa, and then he forced
Right.
Jordan Mappa to shoot in.
So, like, this is one of those fighters that people underrated him and looking at him like, oh, you know, he has a, you know, not very like a great record in his, you know, career, but he is.
But you watch his fights, everybody shoots in on
so,
him.
And because people just refuse to stand in, and I know this is one of those fights that you're gonna stand with it. And I know he's come from a boxing background. And you guys are pretty much identical, same height. He might be an inch taller.
Yeah.
You guys pretty much in a similar height and similar weight on this upcoming fight. So, and you consider yourself in the future, it's gonna be a flyweight, a featherweight fighter.
Yeah.
I know this fight we're doing a catch weight, so you know. Well, if you go down to the featherweight, who do you have in mind that caught your attention? What is the Bay Area or whatever in the regional scene that caught your attention that you want to fight?
I know one guy, I remember as an amateur, I was sitting in the sauna with him, and I remember he told me, one day when you turn pro, why don't you fight me? You remember Shane Sargent?
Yeah.
Shane Sargent. I'd be down to fight Michael Humphrey.
Michael Humphrey?
Yeah.
Michael Humphrey, I think he's fighting this weekend.
Yeah, he's fighting, I believe this weekend, yes.
He's fighting 145 pound. Well, that might be a good matchup if Michael Humphrey coming
it
off.
Seems like he always had a bone to pick with somebody from Dragon House. I mean, I'll give him one. It's all good.
Well, shout out to Michael Humphrey right there. If he want to go down and dance with you and maybe fight him in the casino, you know.
Nah, I don't think he wants to.
Huh? I mean, I know like the last fight you was supposed to be fight the guy. What's his name? He did.
Oh, Armando Vasquez.
That's one fight, you know. Might be down the line eventually. Maybe even catch him on the next one. I know he's doing. I heard he's doing some boxing fight.
Yeah, he's doing a professional boxing match.
Yeah. So, well, say something to him with Armando.
Hey, man, we were supposed to fight, man. What happened? So, I mean, bro, your track record speaks for itself. I saw you. You said you pulled out because of some injury, but I saw you at fights in Livingston the next week when my teammates were fighting. So it seems like you got a little coward spirit in your blood. I mean, I'm part Mexican too, bro, so we don't get down like that. But if you got a little faintness in your heart, don't lie. It'd be different if I didn't see you that week. Like, you weren't walking around with a limp or nothing, bro. Like, you know, just man up. I know it's tough, especially when you're facing the big G. But, I mean, you just got to man up sometimes and bite that bullet. I'd be more than happy to knock you out.
Well, maybe we'll put that fight on the next one in November if he's game, you know.
If he's game. Who knows? He might get injured again. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever the way he, you know, was down, and maybe we can try to set that up, you know. Yeah. So, people want to get a hold of you, they check out your IG.
Yeah, it's Muslim_Tiger_MMA. For the more elder audience, Juma Muhammad, Jumah, last name Muhammad, Muhammad. And then, inshallah, I'm going to be coming out with flyers and everything to try to promote the fight as much as possible. And then I'm going to do my part. And
all your friends and families, you know, hopefully can show some love, show some support for your local
Absolutely.
friends and local fighters and local promotion. You fighting a guy from the, you know, outside of Bay Area, from the Madeira area, so
Yeah.
you know, as a representative hometown, hopefully you can have a good crowd to come support you. And what do you have to, anyone you want to shout out to for the supporters, sponsors, and
Oh,
any loved
big
ones?
shout out to my sponsor. Well, this is a black shirt, so you can't tell. But Team Reaper, they're my #1 sponsor. They've been with me for about almost 2 years now. So they were the main sponsor that allowed me to be able to even train full time. And they provided me the opportunity to be able to pursue martial arts as a career alongside with you. So like that's #1 is Sifu. Like he supported me all throughout my amateur career, everything in terms of just from the beginning to the end, beginning all the way until wherever the end will be. But Sifu's been my #1 sponsor, and then Team Reaper for sure. Team Reaper, they've taken care of me. Came out with my sponsor gear. I have personalized sponsored gear. If you guys want to, you can go ahead and click in the link in my bio. It's on Muslim Tiger MMA. It's on my Instagram, and I believe it's also on my Facebook too. But there's a link in my bio where you can buy my customized gear. You can buy my shirts. I have short sleeves, tank tops, long sleeves, hoodies, whatever it is that you need. Have it in youth size, old, like adult size, whatever you need. So big shout out to Team Reaper, and then my discount code if you want an extra 10% off is Juma10, JUMAH10.
Now, if your opponent, David Rivera, watching this interview, what do you have to say?
Mad respect to you, man. You've laid out a foundation for the sport, which I really appreciate. Like we couldn't have the platforms that we have without guys like you who really set it in stone. And really, I'm just looking forward to fighting you, man, because I feel like this fight will be possibly the fight of the night. Because preferably, I want to throw hands. It's just the majority of my career, people always shoot in on me, so I've had to develop grappling to an extent. But preferably, I want to stand and bang, and I'm pretty sure because I've watched all your fights, or at least the ones that I could find, and you seem like you like to stand and bang. So let's give the crowd and the fans exactly what they want, because I'm down to stand and bang. Like you asked my last opponent, like I remember after I fought my last opponent, he walks up to me and shakes my hand, and then he just asked me like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna stand and bang with me." And then I looked at him and I shook his hand and I just went like, "Dude, don't you remember? You're the one that shot in on me for the first 2 rounds." And then I guess because he had taken so much like damage, I guess he literally looks at me and just goes like, "Oh," like it just clicked for
He
him.
didn't remember he's the one going for the
Yeah,
takedown.
he's the one that shot in on me. I didn't shoot on him for 2 whole rounds, 2.5 whole rounds. And all I did was reverse the takedown and that's it. Because preferably, like, I want to stand and bang with people. It's just, I've had to develop my style to where now I have to stop takedowns and strike. But I don't feel like I'll have that problem with David because we both like to stand and strike. Like, sure, I'm well versed.
You know, this is stylistically will be a good matchup. It will be a fun fight. You know, fighting an OG.
Yeah.
It's been around the sport for a minute, so that's pretty cool. Now, for more information about this upcoming fight card, guys, check out DragonHouseMMA.com. We are updating on the website. A lot of matchup is going to be updated this weekend, after this weekend, so stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, and please subscribe my YouTube channel. You know, support my YouTube channel, help me to grow my YouTube channel. So I'm Zhong signing out. Here we go, Jihad Muhammad. We'll be making his second professional fight, August 20. We'll see you guys at the Keys or Pavilion. This event's a live stream pay-per-view nationwide. So if you cannot make it to the event, make sure you guys order your live stream pay-per-view voucher from DragonHouseMMA.com. The event's a live stream pay-per-view nationwide on all different devices, cell phone, laptop, TV, anywhere you can connect to internet, you can watch the event.
One more thing too. Hey y'all, get the tickets, alright? It's $60 for a general, $100 for a VIP, like you're close enough, and $180 for ringside. Like alhamdulillah, like I sold so many ringsides last fight, like it was wonderful. Like shout out to everybody who bought tickets from me. Who bought some tickets? Like Bay Area Combat, Daniel Compton, he bought a ticket from me. Deborah Farlito, like a whole bunch of just awesome people that I've had the amazing experience working with. Like y'all, like the tickets aren't even that expensive. They're $60, $100, $180. Like all you got to do is hit me up,
Yeah,
and
man.
then I'll get you tickets. That's no problem.
All right, signing out.